Welcome to Bacon Shorts by Bacon Sports. I'm Rob Cressy. This is episode 10. My hashtag random athlete of the day is former Colorado Buffaloes running back and San Diego Chargers running back Eric Sleeping With Bieniemy. Celebrating a birthday today on October 12th is two-sport star Charlie Ward, whose backcourt mate at Florida State was Sam Cassell. We've also got former Dallas Cowboy Leon Lett of the infamous Super Bowl run back where he was caught by the Buffalo Bills' Don Beebe. We've also got Marco Yarrick, who at one point was married to supermodel Adriana Lima. Yeah, get you some, Marco Yarrick. And lastly, rest in peace, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So today I'm going to try out a new segment called Ooh, Kill 'Em, where I talk about players, coaches, and teams that were either good or bad over the weekend, a.k.a. killing it. So let's start out with Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton, who has the Bengals at 5-0, and he currently has the most passing yards of any quarterback in the NFL. What if Andy Dalton becomes that quarterback that no one believes in, a la Joe Flacco, who ends up winning a Super Bowl? How will we look back at the beginning of Andy Dalton's career? He's had 9 wins in each season that he's been the starting quarterback for the Bengals, and he has 10 wins in each of the last 3 seasons. Could this be sort of a Phil Mickelson type thing where a player who had success but just couldn't get over the hump? Get this, Peyton Manning didn't win a playoff game until his 6th season in the NFL. Up until then, he was 0-3 in the playoffs. Andy Dalton currently 0-4. I'm not saying that Andy Dalton is going to be Peyton Manning, just saying. All right, Matthew Stafford. He was just benched for Dan Orlovsky over the weekend. Dan Orlovsky of the scramble out of the end zone for a safety for the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford currently has fewer wins, 35, than Ryan Fitzpatrick, 36, despite throwing 200 more passes than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Matthew Stafford currently leads the NFL in interceptions with 8. Let's say the Lions didn't draft Matthew Stafford number 1 overall in the 2009 NFL Draft. What other quarterbacks could they have taken? Well, in the first round, we've got Mark Sanchez and Josh Freeman. But wait, there's more. The 2009 NFL Draft could go down as one of the worst, if not the worst, in NFL history. Listen to some of these names that were drafted. The Dolphins took West Virginia quarterback Pat White early in the 2nd round. The Cowboys took Stephen McGee out of Texas A&M in the early 4th. The Giants took Oklahoma quarterback Rhett Bomar in the 5th. The 49ers took Ball State quarterback Nate Davis in the 5th. The Broncos took some guy named Tom Banstatter out of Fresno State in the early 6th. The Seahawks took Rutgers quarterback Mike Teal in the 6th. And lastly, and actually the name that I knew of all of these, the Indianapolis Colts selected Curtis Painter in the 6th round. A whole bunch of hot garbage in the 2009 NFL Draft for quarterbacks. By the way, that same 2009 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions selected tight end Brandon Pettigrew. They selected him 6 spots before the Packers took linebacker Clay Matthews. How about Michigan football and their defense? The defense has 3 straight shutouts, and in their last 5 games, they've given up 14 total points. Get ready for the Jim Harbaugh slop train just to be all over him because Michigan takes on Michigan State this weekend. Currently, Michigan State is ranked number 7, and Michigan is a 6-point favorite. Everyone's going to be slobbing all over Mr. Khakis, but shout out to him. The team at Michigan, they know who they are. They've got an identity. They're playing good defense. I'm super excited, looking forward to this game this upcoming weekend. All right, Georgia head coach Mark Richt and big game Bob Stoops.
Oh, kill him.
With their chance to plant their flag as the team to beat in the SEC, what does Georgia do? As a home favorite against Alabama, they go and get destroyed. But they have a chance to rebound against a Tennessee team that had lost consecutive games and was on the precipice of having their entire season go down the tubes. With a 21-point lead, Georgia then blows it and loses to Tennessee. This was the largest blown lead of Mark Richt's 15-year career as Georgia head coach. To add insult to injury, Georgia also lost Nick Chubb to a gruesome injury. Get well soon, Nick Chubb. You are an awesome running back. Unfortunately, this is not the taking the next step that we were all hoping Georgia would take this year. This doesn't mean that Mark Richt should be fired. It just means that, as usual, we should temper our expectations. Georgia just is not Alabama. As for big game Bob Stoops, Oklahoma getting their first loss of the season could not have come at the worst time. Texas, their rival, was coming off an atrocious start to the season. They'd lost 3 in a row and lost to Notre Dame and TCU by a combined 78 points. What stings the most about this loss is it actually gives Texas some glimmer of hope to build off of with Charlie Strong as their head coach. Another bad loss to Oklahoma, and the wheels are completely off in Austin. Instead, they've at least salvaged a small piece of their season and something to build off of because they just beat their ranked and at the time undefeated rival. Now, with one loss, Oklahoma has to somehow hope to go undefeated, even though still on their schedule, BYU, TCU, and Oklahoma State in consecutive weeks to finish the season. So much for those national title hopes for Oklahoma.
Oh, kill him. Oh, kill him. Oh.
All right, there were some awesome random jerseys sent in over the weekend. Up first is this Fred Taylor Jags jersey, which was sent in by my boy, Aaron Senich, at the Bengals versus Seahawks game this weekend. So someone tweeted in the following question: is Fred Taylor the best running back in Jaguars history? Is between him and Maurice Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew had the higher ceiling, but Fred Taylor did it for a longer period of time. Because of that, I'm going with Fred Taylor. Hit me up. Let me know who you think is the best Jags running back of all time. While I was going to cheer on Mrs. Bacon and all the other Chicago Marathon runners in the marathon on Sunday, I came across this unbelievably hot Stacey Augmon Hawks jersey, a.k.a. the Plastic Man. Loving it. Lastly, this one was sent in, and this one is also mind-blowing. We've got a Horace Grant Sonics jersey. This is a level 5 hoopster jersey, as Horace Grant was only on the Sonics one season near the back end of his career. I also did a search on eBay, and there is currently 0 Horace Grant Sonics jerseys for sale. By the way, if you are looking to find an awesome jersey, use the world's largest jersey database that I created on baconsports.com. We've got 763 jerseys of past and present players that you can search. It'll take you to their eBay search results. You can get the dopest, freshest jerseys just like that. Lastly, I want to give my hashtag flag it, tag it of the week to all the talk about Chase Utley's slide injuring Mets Ruben Tejada. When I wake up on a Monday morning, I don't want to hear, was this a legal slide talk? I want to hear nothing about football from the past weekend. College football, NFL football, everything. I get that the MLB playoffs are going on, but come on, guys. We're talking about a slide. The same slide, or very similar to what the Cubs' Chris Coughlin did against the Pirates' Jung-Ho Kang, breaking his leg. Coughlin did not get suspended. So I don't understand why there's all this talk and uproar over this slide by Chase Utley. I get it. He came in hard. He came in late. He broke up the double play. It looked cheap. It sucks that Ruben Tejada got injured, but oh well, this isn't the first time that we've seen this, so why is it all of a sudden just because it's the Mets and Dodgers in the playoffs? The thing with Chris Coughlin happened in the last month of the season against division rivals fighting for a playoff spot. So I'm flagging all of this talk. Let's just get back to talking about football. Lastly, I want to start a segment called Bacon Recommends, where simply I give you guys a recommendation, and I recommend Jalen Rose's new book, Got to Give the People What They Want, True Stories and Flagrant Opinions from Center Court. I'm a huge fan of everything that Jalen Rose and Dave Jacoby create on the Grantland Network. If you're not listening to their podcast, it is absolutely the best out there, especially if you love the NBA. I just bought this book. I'm looking forward to giving a review of it, but wanted to give him a shout out and recommend that you guys buy it. Jalen gives it to you raw, exactly what you want to hear. It's a fresh take and opinion, and I'm a big fan of everything that Jalen Rose does. All right, guys. As always, I want to hear from you. If you have a hashtag random athlete, a flag it, tag it, or a random jersey, send it all over. You can hit me up on all social media outlets at Bacon Sports. Boom shakalaka.